Two brand new boxes over here. The Apeks WSX45 side mount harness. I can't wait. If you guys are interested in trying your own Apeks WSX45 side mount system, we have them in the SAGA online shop, and actually you'll be able to enter a coupon code that we have on the bottom of this video, which will give you a nice discount. All right, so the plan here is to get this WSX45 side mount harness by Apeks assembled. And hopefully we can learn something. Maybe you guys have some tips from me as well. So make sure to get active in the comments and of course subscribe to the channel. Let's see what's in the box. So right off the bat, our harness, and immediately super high quality, super heavy, which I enjoy. Is of course our 45 pounds air cell, beautiful. A lot of dump valves. So we have one right here, and right here. And then on the inside, of course, we have our inflator, which obviously we can move around. Maybe I will. And further down, a pouch full of hardware. That's really nice. This is the weight system, goes on the spine of the harness. So obviously we'll have to install that. And then maybe somewhat disappointing, the instructions for use, a little photocopy, half of which is about hardware that's not actually included in the package. Not that it has to be, but then that's a little bit strange that half the instructions are that. And that's it. Other box right here, you may wonder, this is actually the redundant air cell. So this is fairly new, but it is now possible to double up on your bladder for technical diving, for instance, if you like to have that redundancy. So here, just one plastic bag with, again, instructions for use, and the redundant air cell, a lot less dump valves actually, but that's fine, of course. And similar materials, similar shape, so that's gonna allow us to double up on our buoyancy, which is great for tech diving. So let's assemble this. One disclaimer here, guys, this is obviously a very personal preference. That's the whole point of side mount diving. So what works for me doesn't necessarily work for you, and this is a highly customizable rig. So you're probably gonna have a lot of fun figuring out what works for you. Let's get started. And this nice pouch actually comes with a lot of hardware, lots of screws as well. So I always appreciate that there's enough hardware so that even if we lose something you know, goes missing, that we have enough. So now we need to use the screws to lock the weight pouch in place. On the bottom, we want eventually the bladder to be held together with little bungee, and I think I'm going to be a little bit lower here, so installing the spacer is actually quite useful. Alrighty, that actually looks pretty good. I've also reeled in the crotch strap quite a bit here, obviously tucking away the excess webbing. I may cut it, I may not. So now it's time already to install the wing. For the wing, I'm actually deciding on moving the LPI to the lower part of the bladder, and luckily the bladder comes with a cap, so we can actually close off the Now we'll actually be using a redundant bladder system here, so 2 bladders. So I'm gonna put my backup bladder on the inside, primary bladder on the outside, make sure that they line up nicely, and then we're gonna screw that into the top back plate so that it's nice and snug. So that's actually starting to come together here, guys. We do not want to screw the bladder to the harness on the bottom, because then when we inflate it, we really have a chance of doing some serious damage. So instead, we're going to secure it with a piece of bungee cord so that when it inflates, there's a bit of stretch on that. Now the harness got delivered with some bungee cord, and that's going to be secured here, through here, then through our spacer and through the 2 bottom holes of our air cells. It really all just needs to stay together and be able to expand and contract just a little bit as we inflate the BCD. Top and bottom of the harness and the air cells are now secured, so now it's time for the sides. Now the sides don't really get secured to the harness, but we'll have to find a way to reel those in so that they're not flapping on our either side, and that's where the bungee also has a role to play. We're going to put a little bit of bungee on one side, put a little bit of bungee on the other side, put a sliding gate clip in the middle so that we can loop it around and attach it, and that's supposed to keep the air cell nice and compact around our body. We should be able to tie the clip with the bungee that we just tied. We should be able to loop that through our D-ring and to the other side, and so we're gonna need a little bungee loop here that attach that so everything is nice and secure. Next, we'll need to put some clips on our LPI to keep that all streamlined. I really can't complain. There is no shortage of bungee or screws. The only thing I could say is I wish they would have delivered an extra clip for the backup bladder, although these aren't all that hard to come by. So just a minor detail. Alrighty, and now for the last bit, we've actually been given a nice big fat bungee. That's of course to go behind us so we can keep the cylinders in check. And I haven't really given thought yet as to where they need to be routed through, but that's also a little bit a matter of preference. Some people like 2 separate bungees, some people like 1 continuous bungee like myself. Again, clips are there, and that way they're very easy to pinch together, route them through, and then we should be all set. Alright guys, that's that. Obviously I still have to dive on this particular setup here, and I'll definitely let you guys know how that went. If you guys are interested in trying your own WSX45, then we do have them in the SAGA web shop. The link will be below, and there will also be a coupon code so you can get a nice little discount if you want to try that out for yourself. See you guys next time.